Hi, my name is Lindsay Vicumbo, and I'm going to do a presentation about the PEST analysis of Mexico. The main goal of my presentation is to demonstrate why I will not invest in Mexico and why I do not believe that investing in Mexico will be beneficial nor profitable. I will use the political aspect, the economical aspect, the social, cultural, and the technological aspect of the Mexican business scene today to demonstrate why I do not believe it will be profitable to invest in Mexico. So let's start off with the political aspect of Mexico. So it should be noted that Mexico, it's a very new democracy. It's only started being democratic 23 years ago in the year 2000. Mexico seems to be a place which is not safe medically, as 39% of the Mexican population today is still not vaccinated, which leaves almost half of the country at risk of contracting COVID. When we take into account the fact that 300,000 people died due to COVID-19 in Mexico, it seems like a very, very unsafe place to be at. Second of all, even though there is a very diverse political scene in Mexico, with many, many different political parties, it should be noted that the Mexican president today is still very aggressive toward its opponent and towards the press, which attacked, two of the most important liberties in democracy today, which is the liberty of exerting political rights and the liberty of expression and press. It doesn't show, a very stable climate in Mexico, and it actually shows a very unstable country. And as a future, as an investor in a foreign country, you want to be in a place that promote innovation, promote open-mindedness, and promote different worldviews, because that's what you are bringing. You're bringing something new that's never been done before. And the last thing that you want is to be attacked by the government because you have different worldviews than the government in place. The social cultural aspect of Mexico today is very colorful and family centered. The GDP per capita is very high at $9,926. Mexico is known to have wonderful historical and traditional days and events, as Cinco de Mayo, that is celebrated here in US, La Semana Santa, y la Día de la Independencia. So, Independencia. So those are all wonderful, wonderful traditional events that attract people from all around the world. So if you're in the tourism business, Mexico seems like a very, very interesting place to be in and very beneficial. But it should be noted that the situation of permanent insecurity in Mexico makes it very hard to imagine doing business there, as torture, enforced disappearance, abuse against migrants, which you don't want to hear as a foreign investor, extrajudicial killing and attack on independent journalism and human rights defender are still very much in place. In fact, injustice, torture, and insecurity are the norm in Mexico today. The economical aspect of Mexico is it's very, very beautiful and interesting too. So Mexico is considered an MDC, which is a more developed country, which means that for years, Mexico has an exponential growth. And it's still going on. A lot of projection agrees to the fact that Mexico is going to continue to have growth and to be a very strategic place to be at, as Mexico has a lot of different trade partnership with countries from all around the world. Mexico is part of the WTO and as trade partners, most important, United States and Canada in North America, Brazil in Latin America, Germany in Europe, and Japan and China in Asia, which means that Mexico is open to the entire world, into 4 different continents, and make it a very interesting place to be in, as it has, a very big market and international markets, which is absolutely amazing. And one very negative aspect, unfortunately, of the Mexican economical scene today is the fact that the government recently passed a law against corruption that gave them the right to confiscate any merchandises from a company they consider corrupted and keep it until proof of innocence, which is it's very dangerous for foreign investor because that means that you go to Mexico to invest, and if the government think that you might be corrupted, they have the right to seize and confiscate any single goods asset that you have and even froze your account. I mean, freeze your account if necessary, and it leaves you in a position of danger because you cannot pay your employees. Your the document needed to provide, to prove your innocence are overseas. So it's very complicated and not interesting at all for a foreign investor. The technological aspect of the Mexican business since today is very, very, very uh, beneficial and profitable as Mexico is at the center of many technological advancements. You can find Mexico in a lot of different industry and technology, as aerospace, automotives, electronics, and medical devices. In Mexico, Mexico is also has also invested a lot in education as the latest education program is invested $63 million to provide every kid in Mexico with a tablet. And it definitely pays off, as Mexico is today one of the best country in car industry right now with many international deals. It is after this question, will I invest in Mexico? If I were multinational, I would be interested by the positive aspect of Mexico, a competitive labor cost, skilled employee, a country that's, promote technology and invest a lot in technology with a huge opening to the world as one of the biggest business right now, which is the United States business. So it would definitely be a strategical place to invest. But unfortunately, I will not invest in Mexico. The possibility of having my company there and having my good and asset confiscated by the government is a risk too high to pursue for many reasons. First of all, the fact that I'll have to provide, a lot of different documents to prove my innocence if the government consider that I might be corrupted when while operating overseas will make it very hard because I will have to look for my document in the country and also out of the country. It will be a long procedure. Second of all, the lack of possibility to pay my employees during this period of time, it's very bad and also leave me in a very dangerous place because they then have the right to sue me and I have to engage more costs in hiring lawyers for all around the world why my assets are still being frozen and seized by the government. Lastly, after making a huge and precise business plan, the last thing that you want in when you consider the fact that it might not work is the fact that you might have all of your goods being confiscated by the government with no possibility to even sell the company and start off again. So all of those are risk way too high for me to pursue, and this is why I do not believe that investing in Mexico will be beneficial. Thank you so much for your time.